going hot. Come to the party. All right, we are officially live on the interwebs, and we're going to be getting started with the official show in just a moment. But today we're going to be talking about, well, news stories, things going on in the world, things that have changed, things that are going to change, and how it'll affect you and your business. What do you think about that, Steve? Because it's you that have brought these stories to the table.
That's right.
It's going to be like a challenge. He's going to hit these stories, and then I'm going to respond to them.
That's right.
And hopefully not sound like an idiot. We'll see.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen.
You're reasonably intelligent.
Yeah, sometimes. All right, well, without further ado, why don't we just get this show right on the road and not mess around with any more of this. My microphone's being a pain in my butt here. Hold on. Seems to want to do whatever it wants to now. These arms, when they get older, man, I'll tell you, it's like a human being.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta stand way over here. Boom, there we go. Ooh, too far away. All right. Are we ready, Steve?
Hit it, Ray.
Let's do it. And in 5, 4, 3. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to find my thing.
Trying to find your thing.
There it is. Okay, ready. In 5. This microphone keeps moving away from me. Get back over here. It's like it's sliding away. Slip sliding away.
That's right. I was just thinking of that.
Here we go. Okay. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, it's Ray the Video Guy here along with Steve Sleeper, and welcome to another episode of Video Marketing Madness. And on today's show, well, we're going to be talking about all the news that you can use in your business when it comes to video and marketing. In fact, Steve's going to kind of hit me with a bunch of these, and we're going to just react to them real time. I don't even know what's going to happen. We'll find out, and you'll see. But if you want to see better video, well, we've got a partner here that's going to help you to be able to do that. It's our good friends at Movo, who will provide you with everything that you need in order to have great video. And I'm talking about things like lights for your camera. I'm talking about microphones, and a lot of microphones, wireless microphones, wired microphones, desktop microphones, whatever you need to record, they've got a microphone that's going to make you sound good, including studio microphones. Now, with that, Steve, are we ready to... Oh, let's tell them where to go. You can go to raislinks.com/Movo to learn more about that. All right, now let's hit that beautiful music and get this show on the road.
All right.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.
I didn't realize my hair is such a mess today. I didn't look at it at one point.
So's mine. I need haircut. Woo.
Yeah, I need a haircut too. That's part of my problem. Anyhow, it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper, and my YouTube channel is Steve Sleeper Trains. Check it out.
Yes,
Ray loves it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I'm up to about 100 views on a full-length video, and a lot of them are. It's about half subscribers, half YouTube recommendations.
All right.
So that's I'm not going to make any money, but I'm happy with it. I'm getting about I think I'm getting about 120 hours a month and 8,000 views a month or something. I think that's what it said. My YouTube Shorts is where I'm getting most of my subscribers, by the way.
Oh yeah, not surprised.
Yeah,
that tends to be a real way to grow things these days is through the short videos, no doubt about it. And that's not just on YouTube, Facebook, same thing. Get those reels going. Instagram.
Yeah. I'm averaging anywhere from I'm getting anywhere from 2,000 views of video to 50.
That's usually how it goes.
But I'm probably averaging 500 on the shorts, and again, that's where my subscribers, new subscribers, are coming from. The thing I'm real happy about is now this is an old marketing channel, so it shows like 1,200 subscribers, but I had 800 when I started doing the trains thing. As I said, it's an old marketing channel. And I'm getting quite a few of the subscribers to watch my videos. I think it's a decent percentage, so I'm happy with that.
Excellent. And that's what we want. Get those subscribers watching, man. Get 'em
That's
watching.
right.
That's
Well,
what we
the
gotta
big
do.
news, and oh my goodness, this comes from December 22nd. We went for what, 2 months without doing a show.
Shh, don't tell
Yeah, I
anybody.
know. December and January.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
was like most of December and January. I think we did.
yeah.
It was
We
a
were
few
going
weeks
to
in a row.
take a month off, and we ended up taking 2 off. But
Kind of sad.
the big news, and I was happy to see this. I was an early subscriber to DirecTV back in the 90s because of the Sunday ticket. So I could pay a lot of money to watch the Chicago Bears lose. And there, and DirecTV at one time was great. The customer service was great. And then they sold it to AT&T, and the customer service became horrendous. And it just got to the point.
No.
Well, I couldn't get what I needed, and I had to cancel it. And
Yeah.
I took out a subscription to like NFL.com, so if the Bears won, I could watch the replay, and I didn't watch many replays last year. Anyhow, the big news is Sunday Ticket has moved to YouTube TV. Now that's
Yes. Which is
we're-
crazy to think of. And the funny thing is the two top contenders weren't DirecTV, it wasn't Dish Network, it wasn't Comcast, it wasn't Universal or Paramount or anybody of those. It was between YouTube TV and Apple TV. Those were the two.
Yeah, that's
finalists
right.
on it.
Well, and the commissioner said way back when that we're going to go with a streaming service. We'll probably go with a streaming service because that's going to be the best for the fans. Now, what that takes me back to is the first Vid Summit. You and I were both there. Daryl Eves, his first Vid Summit, which I guess does extremely well now, but his first one, he was like giving away tickets for people to come to it.
Wait, he
And
was?
huh? Yeah,
I'm
he
just kidding.
gave you tickets.
I was a speaker at
If he
it,
gave
sorry.
me tickets, he gave you tickets. And you and I shared a room, and I woke you up with my snoring all the time. But I had never met you face to face, so I
That
thought,
is true.
well, and I can get a flight to L.A. and meet Ray, and I really enjoy it. But and this has got to be 10 years ago.
That was the first and only time we've met in person, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
yeah,
After
it's
all
crazy.
these years.
Yeah, and but I did it just for that. But I thought it'll be fun, and it's free. I had a free airline ticket and I had a free attendance ticket, so why not? And we split.
There
a
you
room,
go.
So, but I remember Daryl saying I would not be surprised, Daryl or somebody, if YouTube picked up the Super Bowl. That was what he said. So
Right,
that's
yep.
kind of it's kind of similar in that now there's YouTube TV is going to have Sunday Ticket. So
And Apple TV has Friday night baseball, and they're supposedly the NBA is going to be on Apple TV. So this is all
is it?
going.
yeah, it's all
If it
going
happens.
streaming.
So-
Well, and we don't. I mean, we don't have cable. We haven't had cable in 25 years. I mean, we do for internet, but not for TV. And we don't have a dish I mean, we have the dish sits outside, but it's deactivated. It's all we use streaming services. So
Yep,
that's
yep.
a big deal.
And you talked about the NFL package, and I've got an online streaming service that I get all those things, and it's very, very cheap. I mean, for like $25, I can watch anything, football games, you name it. So I watched the
Yeah.
Super Bowl this year. It wasn't on my phone, but it was on my computer, but it was through the streaming service. It's like $25 a month and get everything.
I've got
Even
the
pay-per-views.
Chromecast dongle or whatever you call it, and
Got a few of those here at the office, actually.
do you? Yeah, and I stream everything through that, I got Philo and I got Fubo. Is that it?
Fubu.
Fubu or something, and
TV.
the only reason I don't have YouTube TV is at the beginning of, was it last season or the season before, they dropped ESPN in a carriage dispute, like the day before football season began, And I went, well, I'm not. So I canceled. The big game was the next day or the first game, and I just never went back to
get used to that because that's how it goes. YouTube's going to learn that's how it goes with these
well,
things.
they
See it all the
settled
time,
it right away. I think they lost a lot of subscribers because of that. I thought, well, that's
Probably.
really stupid.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember it happened quite a bit with the satellite dishes. That was always a big thing.
Oh yeah.
I think at one point in time, Dish Network lost CBS for a while. Like CBS refused to come to the table with them, and vice versa. So
or vice versa. Yeah.
pretty crazy.
YouTube Shorts monetization, how revenue share works, and it's a little different from what we originally talked about. You can get Shorts monetization if you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours, 4,000 viewing hours on your videos in the last year. So they changed that.
Yeah. At one point it was going to be, what did they have to have, like 15 million Shorts views in order to monetize?
The other option is 1,000 subscribers and 10 million eligible public Shorts views in the last 90 days.
Yeah, which is crazy to think. Those numbers are just, and it's just astronomical. But like we had one that was 42 million, and it's like, holy cow, who wants to watch all this? 42 million times people watch these darn things. That's crazy.
Right. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it does work a little bit differently. Not only that, but the way it's monetized is different too, because it's like, and the way I understand it anyway, and if you've seen an article that says it slightly differently, let me know. But as you're scrolling through the shorts, a video, an ad will eventually pop up as one of the shorts, and I guess the videos that were around it each share in the revenue is kind of the way I understand it. So
okay.
Something like that.
I didn't know that.
I guess it's not an ad on your video. It's an ad that runs through the short shelf, I guess.
Oh, I see.
From the way
Okay.
I understand it.
Okay.
So there you go.
One of the reasons I like doing the show with you, and there's probably a laundry list of reasons for doing Video Marketing Madness with Ray, the video guy, first on the list. It's a lot of fun. But one of the reasons is I learn about all the latest stuff. And we did a show on OpenAI like a couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
And it's the first time I mean I'd heard of it, but I hadn't heard of it because I just always wait to hear from you about what the latest stuff is. And we didn't do a show for 2 months, so I'm like, how did I miss this?
Well,
and
you got to remember when we started that, it really didn't exist.
Yeah, and I looked at it and it kind of rolled out the beginning of December, and I love it. By the way, it's made my life so much easier. I do. I offer service whereby I post weekly to GMBs. I do a post weekly, and that is just made for that. I can type in whatever I want to talk about, and boom, I'm done.
Oh, it's crazy. It's absolute madness.
It really is crazy.
I use it for everything that I can, from writing parts of emails to social media posts to articles to YouTube descriptions. I ask it to give me good titles for different things. I mean, it's incredible. Just as a joke, I wrote a book, like a little ebook, just to see.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You told me about that. And like with your insurance agent, you'll type in, give me 20 articles about life insurance, and it does it. Yep. I tried that. Now I put in, give me 20 articles about DUI law in Mississippi, and they came back and said, well, we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to do that, or something like that. We're not allowed, the rules, we can't do that. And then they gave me 20 posts about DUI in Mississippi, so I don't know what that was all about.
Well, I don't know if that, who knows? I'm sure there's certain words that trigger something or other.
Yeah, but it was just all about the law. Anyhow, and then I read an article about Google. And this happens to all companies that get really big. They're getting kind of complacent. They're kind of sitting on their laurels, and they're not the lean, mean Google machine from certainly 25 years ago. But they've asked the original founders to come back so they can kind of shake things up and get a little sharper, because they sort of missed the open AI, thing. They missed it. So they've come out with their answer, and it's called Bard. And I haven't tried it, but if you have any concerns about using AI and what Google thinks of that, as you said when we talked about AI, don't worry about it, because it's the way things are going. So there is a article out there on Search Engine Land. If you want to read more about it, it's called Google Launches Bard. Its answer to ChatGPT. Here's what it looks like. Just Google launches Bard.
Worries me that they launched that so quickly after being, people going, oh, they're so far behind, and they have it a week later.
Yeah,
so,
that does make you wonder, because the kind of the conventional wisdom is that Google didn't have anything, and then all of a sudden,
and I'm sure that's not the case. They probably They've probably been working on stuff for ages and just hadn't put anything out specifically, because a lot of this stuff's been going on for ages. There's a lot of, we think of this AI now because of ChatGPT, where it's like, write an article for me, but there's so much AI stuff going on, like with your phones and everything else, where it's, just when you take a picture, there's an artificial intelligence that's adjusting the picture, things like that. Yeah. So there's a lot of it going on.
Yeah. But, oh no, I'm sorry.
No,
I interrupted. Anyhow, but in my mind, we went from Google doesn't want you using AI, okay?
Yeah.
To Google's got AI. So
and they did come out and say that they will not discriminate against AI generated content, which made me chuckle, because they probably have no idea how to figure that out anyway. It's like, how do you read an article that's well written? How do you know that was done by a
but think about it, Ray. It wasn't that long ago, maybe a year ago, where it was pretty easy to pick out AI stuff,
easily.
And
used
now,
to joke about it.
Now it's totally impossible. And one of the things that I do or have done with what is it called, ChatGPT, OpenAI, is I always run it through, what's the name of that software? Hold on. I always run it through Copyscape. And it's unique content. It's absolutely unique, so I'm really impressed. It has made my life so much easier.
Yeah, it's an incredible tool. And you think about this. This is the very, very beginning. This is nothing compared to what's coming. It's not just about writing articles. There's AI video editing tools. There's AI image creation tools. There's AI code making. It's going to go in so many different directions. It's incredible. vidIQ has an AI built into it now. When you do things, that it'll actually do AI stuff for you. I'm not sure if it's connected with ChatGPT or if it's something else, but it looks like it's probably connected to ChatGPT through APIs, and that's how it's generating it. But it's built right into vidIQ
I've got to look
now.
at that. I got to load it. I just got rid of the plugin because I wasn't using it, so I'll go
and
back
you have to be
get it.
you have to be a paying user in order to
Get into it. All right. Well, we'll see if I get it or not.
It's built right in there, and I've seen a bunch of tools that are already using different types of AI for generating the art or making the articles or whatever it happens to be. Seen some that make videos. Be honest, wasn't impressed by it at all. But it'll get there. Well, it was basically just taking ChatGPT text and just making slides with it and formatting it poorly. So it's going to get there. It's going to get there. What will really work, and I know Josh Zamora has one that I got to mess with a lot more. But it's going to get to the point where you're going to say, all right, I need to make a video about subject X, and it's going to find the images, it's going to find the text, it's going to put it all together and make an amazing video. And I'm sure that's happening right now, and it's only going to get better and better.
I'd love that.
Love that. Oh, it's unbelievable. I've seen there's one called Synthesia.io, which does spokesperson videos for you. It's incredible. You pick your actor, you put in your text, and the actor speaks that text, and it sounds decent. It looks real. Now, for the most part, and it'll make entire spokesperson videos for you. It's incredible.
Yeah, I've been
Absolutely
using Synthesis AI.
Yep, that's another one. And that's I mean, think about that. That stuff came out a couple years ago now.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been doing that.
Now the voice, you can't tell the voice is AI, but you can tell the video part of the spokesperson is AI. But I'm not so much trying to get views as I'm creating backlinks.
And the funny thing is I've talked to some creators and stuff who have dealt with their customers and their viewers and all that, and they you know, the surveys they did and everything, the people did not care if they knew it was a AI spokesperson or whatever.
Oh, really?
You know,
that's good to know.
Didn't bother them one bit. They did not take that into consideration. But this new one, Synthesia, and somebody else brought up another one that I haven't looked at yet. They brought it up in our Facebook group, very similar to that, and I can't remember the name of it now. I'd have to go look it up. But Synthesia.io, I'm telling you, it's very, very impressive. Very impressive. I did a YouTube video about it the other day and just kind of showed it off because they'll let you do like a free one. I haven't decided if I'm going to purchase yet, and it's not expensive. I think it's like $20 a month, and you get like to make 10 videos or something like that, which is a pretty good deal. But I just haven't decided whether I would actually use it enough to bother paying. But I may do it at least a month just to play around with it a little bit. But you can test it out. If you go to their website, you can actually test it out a little bit and make a little video. You won't have a full video that you can download and all that, but you can kind of see how it works and see some of the results.
See how it goes, yeah. Synthesis AI, I think I spent $350 and got a lifetime worth of credits. So, you know, and like I said, I'm just trying to.
And I've used that for stuff like for the escape room. I had, you know, we've got a haunted cabin, and I had Abraham Lincoln in there talking about, you know, the haunted cabin. So, I mean, it works. It does a decent, you know, yes, can you tell that it's obviously not real? Yeah, but it doesn't matter that, you know, it doesn't need to be real, you know, super real and you know, this, you know, super spy type of stuff. I mean, it's, you know, it's good enough. It's meant to look, in that case, you know, obviously Abraham Lincoln is not in that cabin talking about my escape room. So it's meant to be kind of tongue in cheek anyway. Sure. So the fact that you can tell that it's not, and I think that one, that was the one where I actually was in front of the camera doing it, and then Abraham Lincoln's head was put on top of me. I think that's the one that I used for that. I forget which one's which, because they've got, you know, Synthesis. They've got like 4 or 5 different products in there. So,
cool.
But yeah, so it was me standing in front of the camera. But they have another one where you can put just a picture, and the picture will talk. But in this case here, it was me talking, and then his face was put on top of mine. So,
cool.
Okay,
here's one, and the only reason this jumped out to me is at one time when we did squeeze pages. Now this goes back a few years ago, but we always used keyword-rich domains. You know, that was the deal. Well, there's an article in Search Engine Journal where Google's John Mueller cautions, or Miller, you know, however, the Mueller, the Germans pronounce it Miller, cautions against keyword-rich domains. They may be detrimental to a website's long-term success.
Was the date on that like 2015?
Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, well, I know. Associated with spam, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, and this is hardly new news, but he did come out. The only news about this is Google came out and said it. I think we were all kind of guessing.
We get it, and I understand that. You know, you have to be careful, and I still see people do it all the time. You know, bestplumber.whatever.com and things like that.
Right.
You know,
and that's what he's cautioning against. At one time, oh gosh, I stood up something along those lines. And I'm trying to find my stories.
We used to do it all the time.
I stood up like a best Omaha plumber, and it was on page 1 for a little while. I forget what industry it was. I'm just using that as
that's exactly what we used to do. We used to do that, and then just, you know, let people take it over or sell the leads or whatever, you know. Because it worked. At one time it worked, and probably to an extent, probably still does, even though they may penalize you at some point. It probably still does work to an extent. I wouldn't be surprised.
This one, okay, this is near and dear to our hearts because we used to get listens off of this. The podcast carousel went away 3 days ago. So if you Google Video Marketing Madness
Right.
podcast, there would be all the Google Podcasts episodes there somewhere on page one. That's gone away.
Yeah, they seem to be, it almost seems like Google's been taking features away. And I don't understand why. Like, it's been a long time. I almost never see any videos on a search ever anymore. Like, no matter what I'm searching, I just hardly, I'm sure if I put, how to tie a tie, there probably would be one, but it's very rare that I see a video on page one on anything that I'm searching for anymore. So they've changed that around. For a while, they had it where, it was more prevalent, and then all of a sudden it was like gone. I don't know why. It's very sad.
Well, the podcast carousel I don't quite get because
especially since they're into podcasts, Google Podcasts.
and so I mean to have that podcast come up, you almost have to search on the podcast. I mean,
Right.
you got to be specific. And so at the top of page one is Apple Podcasts, which, by the way, is where 95% of our listens come from. But then down the page a little bit, you'd see all our episodes in the podcast carousel,
Right.
and that's gone. And so we probably won't get any listens on Google Podcasts anymore. I mean, it was 15 an episode, big deal, but
I know they're trying to push it though. Now I see a lot more Google Podcasts. So they're starting to push it, but yeah, it's never been a source for us at all.
yeah,
We've really
it's
tried
never
to make
been
it
a source.
So maybe we
It's
should.
never been a source.
And by the way, just for the record, if you type in how to tie a tie, the first page is filled with videos, so it still does show up.
Okay, now this one is it's not news, but just kind of a heads up here. This is they tweeted this out, Team YouTube, on January 10th at 12:03 a.m. So I must have been I must have been trying to get to sleep when I was looking at YouTube. But anyhow, or at Twitter. If your views are dropping, don't panic. There's an issue with real-time viewership drop, and we're working on the fix right now. And I wondered what was going on with my videos. I mean, it's not like I'm Mr. YouTube, but I went from like 100 views down to 50, and then right after this, they were back up to 100. So it's interesting to note, I guess. It's not news anymore, but it's interesting to note that was going on. I just thought that was. Did you see that with any of your stuff, or?
I did not see that, but I probably wasn't paying close attention to that.
Paying close attention, yeah. But anyhow, that was going on. Okay, here's one. An easier way to handle community guideline issues. This is January 19th. Most of us don't run into it, but if you do, we want to help you understand the specific policy and avoid it in the future. Now we'll walk you through step by step your specific community guidelines issued directly in the YouTube studio. So you can review your content alongside our policies and help determine the next best steps for your channel. This new experience ensures you have the information you need to understand any existing community guidelines violations, easily appeal them if needed, and steer clear of them in the future. And if you want to read that, just Google an easier way to handle community guidelines issues. It's a fairly decent article.
I haven't had to deal with that in a long, long time. The one I do deal with still all the time, of course, is music.
Yeah.
I put a video up for a client, and I got to pay attention because they're not monetized because of blah blah blah. So that drives me up a wall. But it happens every week. In fact, the one client. They have a little intro in there, uses the same song every single time, and every single week I have to go and do for the exact same song. Drives me nuts.
Yeah. So. Well, This one caught my attention because there's a couple of big time content creators out there that, I mean, they get 250,000 views of video, and they were having some issues about that, and they were talking about what they could do and couldn't do. And so I think for the big time guys, it has become an issue.
Yeah, it can be. It's a pain in the neck because I've had content strike issues in the past, and by the way, half the time they're nonsense. What used to happen was, I remember I posted just an interview with I think it was with Josh Zamora, who we mentioned earlier. We just did an interview with him, and all of a sudden a bunch of people flagged it, and I got all these community strikes, and my channel was shut down. Now, fortunately, I was able to get that fixed about 20 minutes later, which, boy, I wish I could remember how I got in touch with
how
somebody.
you did it. Yeah.
I think it was just the built-in complaint. It's like, hey, check it out. There's nothing wrong here. And a little while later, it was fixed. But another time, the same thing happened, and I lost my channel for like 6 months or 9 months.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
So I couldn't use my channel at all for like 9 months. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, that.
And and there was no real violation at all. So I kept appealing it, and nothing. They just didn't pay attention. The first time, 15 minutes later, they had it fixed. The next time, 6 months, they still didn't get it fixed. So
there's a couple YouTubers I follow that they walk around with. Sony had a version of the GoPro, except the batteries lasted forever, and they only put it out for a little while, but that's what all of them use, and you could still get it used on. You can get one on eBay, brand new, if you want it. But anyhow, they walk around and do these tours with just, a selfie stick and this little camera, and do that to show what they're and they're fun videos. And one guy, in fact, is called Bald and Bankrupt. He is getting from Lima, Peru, up to Venezuela, and he's going to tour Venezuela, which is I wouldn't do in a million years. But those, because of all the problems, and Peru's having problems too politically.
Right.
So he's he does that. I mean, this guy is fearless. But him and his buddies, they all kind of conclave together and work together, and they're always talking about what got them into trouble with YouTube. So I find that fascinating. I think the average person's like, yeah, shut up, but I always find that fascinating.
Well, there's a lot of ways to get in trouble with it, with just different things. And like I said, music typically ends up being the biggest one of all.
That's a big one.
In fact,
they can't walk into a bar.
Right,
because there's music.
Because there'll be music playing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's
and there's been some changes on that. And by the way, if anybody does get into trouble, YouTube does have a thing now where you can go to like copyright school. So they have a copyright school that you can go to, and then they'll take your strike away if you did something wrong. So you can go through that as well. So just in case you want to. But going back to music, now I know one of the big issues, like there was a. One of the biggest things on the internet are people filming the police doing stuff, and those videos are everywhere and whatnot.
Sting and group.
What's that?
Sting and the boys.
Yes.
Yes.
They got together just to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
They hate each other, but they get on there for YouTube. No. Yeah. But people filming the police doing things and the police not liking it, and so there's tons of videos of oh look, the police harassed me just because I had a camera type videos. Well. One of the things that some of the police were doing was they would just turn on their car radio and start blaring Disney music.
Right. Yeah.
And there was a famous video where they did it. It was in, I don't know if it was New York or Chicago. It was one of the bigger cities, and they were in front of one of the city council ladies' houses. Like a brownstone type house in the city. And she came out and she's like, "What the heck is going on? Why are you blaring this music?" And they told them why.
Yeah.
And she flipped out on them, and she's like, "You're breaking constitutional law just because you don't want to be filmed when it says you can make." So you got to be careful because people do that. Just having Disney music will get things demonetized or shut down. And they chose Disney because Disney, you will get shut down. Other things you might get demonetized or what have you. But Disney, they'll take that right off. Boom. And so that didn't go very well.
Well, you know, and an interesting side note on that, there was a guy in Omaha. He may still be doing it, but it hasn't showed up in my recommendations in a while. That was doing that with the police in Omaha.
Oh gosh,
And,
yeah, the Omaha one. He's one of the most famous ones. News Now Omaha. I see his videos everywhere.
yeah.
All
Okay,
over
so
the
he's
place.
still out there.
Oh yeah,
But
he's in my feed all the time. Drives me nuts.
okay, so it's just not showing up in my feed. But what had happened, I guess, well, okay, you probably know more about the history than I do, but the police chief came out and just said, look, guys, when he shows up, be nice to him and just pretend
I
like
know.
he's
What
not
a shock,
there.
right?
Yeah.
I laugh because if you ever see any of those, there was like the police would just say to them, "Well, you're just here to try and get a payday." Well, if you didn't violate somebody's rights, there wouldn't be a payday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that Omaha guy, because it you know, it drives me crazy because what they do, a lot of them go around harassing the police, and there's a big difference between filming something going on and being a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm sorry when they retaliate because you're being a jerk. Yeah, they're not supposed to, obviously, and they should.
But they're
have
human.
their skin about it, but
They're human.
yeah, they're people. You know, it just if you want to film the police doing it, just do it, but just follow the rules, be quiet, and just do it. You know, you don't.
Yeah, just do it.
Some of these guys, you know, they're like, "Oh, I'm filming you, you a-hole," and
Yeah.
and it's like, no wonder you get attacked or whatever. It's like I'm seeing this, and I want you to get it tased. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's
be nice.
exactly. Okay, now here's one that I was trying. Evidently, this caught my attention. At some point, I was trying to scan it to see what it was, and I couldn't figure it out in 2 seconds, so bear with me. YouTube's new updates help creators engage and analyze data. An update to replying to comments with shorts lets viewers watch the original short or long-form video that someone commented on, creating a new opportunity to transform comments into content. An update to YouTube Analytics will help creators better understand their channel's performance by breaking down complex topics into information that's easier to understand. Viewers can now become members of a channel from the Shorts feed, which makes it easier for creators to monetize their comment and earn a sustainable income.
right. And I wonder, you know, that's one of the things is, you know, people can join your YouTube channel. They can become a member of it, and they can pay money for that. And you know, I don't know anybody that's actually doing that to know enough about whether it actually makes any money for them or not. But it'd be interesting to find out from somebody that's doing it if they're actually getting people that join those memberships and get some of that video. It'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, some people that I don't know how many people join those. I see some channels doing it, but I don't know what.
I mean, my channel has. I think I don't have mine turned on, but I have the option for that.
Do you?
I just haven't turned it on because I know I'm not going to have the
Not
time
gonna
to
get
do anything
anything.
that would make it worthwhile for them right now. So maybe it's
Well, here, I'm going to read the in summary. YouTube's latest updates benefit creators in several ways. The update to replying to comments with shorts provides an additional opportunity to engage with viewers. Okay, now I get it. For some reason, it just was going over my head. So you can reply with a short.
Right. Yes.
Additionally, it allows creators to publish more frequently by transforming comments from their most engaging community members into content.
Now, it'll be funny to see how that works out because they used to do that with regular videos years and years and years ago.
They did?
Oh, yeah. With regular videos, you could post a video response.
Uh-huh.
And both the commenter could, and then the creator could post a video response as well. So they used to have that, but they ended up killing it because it had like, you know, 0.01% usage or something crazy. Like nobody did it hardly ever. I used to do it because I was like, oh, this should probably do something, but you know, they took it away because nobody was doing it.
Well, we'll see if they end up taking this away. But they
Like I
are
said, with
doing.
shorts, I would imagine it would work a lot better with shorts.
I
So,
would think, yeah, because you know, just hold your phone in front of you, and you know,
didn't have that back then.
no. So this has got to go back, what, 2010, 2009, before?
Probably, I would guess. It had to be. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
And
Actually,
now the
probably
most.
newer than that, but
Oh, sorry.
maybe like 2015, somewhere around there. So we would have had iPhones for almost 10 years by then, but 8 years. So
iPhone came out in 2000, what,
Seven.
7? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
so, who knows?
I remember when it came out, I was watching the press conference where Steve Jobs was talking about it. Okay, this one is very important. And say sarcastically, express yourself with YouTube emojis. Is that EMOTES? Is that emoji or emotes? Emotes.
Emotes.
Sometimes
There's all sorts of
words
emotes, those darn
just
things.
don't do the moment justice when words run out. Now you have YouTube emotes, fun set of static images that you can use to build a sense of community, kind of like you do on Facebook. You click on, there's an icon for it that looks like a smiley face in live chat or comments, and you'll see what's available to you. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that yet, to be honest.
Okay.
And I do
I haven't
comment
either.
on things, and I have not seen that yet. So
Yeah, that was.
I'll have to switch between some of my accounts and see if, like some of my bigger accounts have it now.
Yeah, well, that was a blog post within the last couple of months. I also follow their blog. I've got them in my Twitter feed, Team YouTube. So then whenever they do a blog post, I check it out. And
Right.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
No, and then whenever I find anything good there, and then I can never find it again to share it later.
Yeah, I know.
I found some really good stuff a few times, and I'm like, oh, and then I can't find it again to show anybody.
I bookmark it and put it in a folder. That's why I have them all.
Nobody believes me.
Yeah, I know.
No, seriously, they said that.
Making
Sure
stuff
they
up
did.
again. Yeah. So anyhow, that's all I got. What's new in the Ray world?
Well, not a whole lot. Just same old stuff. Just working to get things done for people and growing our Facebook community all the time, and just having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I saw your picture of the Rotary meeting today. I suppose that was in Loganville News and Events.
That sure was.
Yeah. And looked like a good group there, Somebody was having some pancakes.
Not me.
Not you.
Believe it or not, actually, I was thinking about that. I haven't eaten anything yet today at all.
Yeah, me either.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. But anyhow, that's that. So that's everything I got, buddy.
Well, and that's a lot of stuff. And the last thing I'll mention is let's not forget YouTube. They've added some new music-based stuff that you can do, so you can actually provide music and whatnot. So I'm not a musician, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But if you're a musician, you got an opportunity to get your music in there that people can use in their videos, and kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thing, so.
One comment I heard the other day. It's in a Facebook group I belong to called Internet Radio Stations. Okay, there's a Facebook group for everything.
There
Facebook
sure
group
is.
for everything. And so one guy was saying, well, how do you get your music? For your station. And keeping in mind, there's a service out there that they subscribe to that takes care of all the royalties for them. Okay, I forget what the name of it is, but you subscribe to it, you pay, I don't know what it is, $100 a year, $500 a year. I forget what the amount is, and it takes care of all the royalties. And one guy said, well, I shouldn't probably broadcast this, but I just scrape stuff off YouTube, and it's just the audio.
A lot of people do.
And I mean, I figure the artist is going to get paid royalties for it, so what the heck, and I don't use the video otherwise. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Speaking of music,
Well, there you go. Music's a big thing. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
Be
always
careful
has
with
been.
it.
Always has.
Because
Yeah,
you like
be
Justin
careful.
Bieber doesn't mean you can put it on your YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, speaking of that, if you want to record good music, you got a way to do that. If you can get yourself a nice microphone, and our good friends over at Movo, they can help you with that because they've got desktop mics, they've got studio mics, they've got wireless mics, they've got wired mics, they've got all sorts of microphones that you can use for recording you singing, recording you doing video, whatever you need, you can get them at Movo by heading on over to raiselinks.com/Movo. And it's not just for microphones. You got stands for holding your smartphone. You got entire kits that will turn your smartphone into a full shooting rig. You've got all sorts of things like lights. Heck, they even have giant audio boards and all sorts of bigger things that I don't even mess with. But all that stuff is in there. You can go check it out. Head on over to raiselinks.com/Movo to get some of those great items for your videos today. And with that, Steve, shall we hit the music one more time?
Hit it, Ray.
All right. Here it comes.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.